A woman may look to her husband for emotional support as she navigates the challenges of aging, such as health concerns, the loss of friends or family, or fears about mortality, but find him unresponsive or preoccupied with his own struggles. This disconnection can lead to feelings of loneliness and abandonment, which may manifest as anger or hatred. Cultural depictions of marriage often emphasize enduring love, but they rarely address the effort required to maintain emotional intimacy. Without regular communication, shared experiences, or mutual vulnerability, the emotional bond between partners can erode, leaving women feeling isolated within their marriages. The role of regret and unfulfilled expectations. Regret is a powerful emotion that can surface in old age as women reflect on their lives. Many women enter marriage with expectations, often shaped by societal ideals, of partnership, mutual support, and shared growth. If these expectations go unmet, the resulting disappointment can fester over time. For instance, a woman may regret having sacrificed career opportunities, personal passions, or friendships for the sake of her marriage. If her husband does not acknowledge these sacrifices or reciprocate with equivalent effort, she may begin to view him as the source of her unfulfilled potential. In old age, when the opportunity to reclaim these losses diminishes, regret can transform into resentment. Similarly, women may feel cheated by the romantic promises of youth. The idealized vision of a lifelong partnership often clashes with the reality of daily life, and husbands may be blamed for failing to live up to these ideals. This sense of betrayal can intensify in old age, as women grapple with the finality of their life choices. Societal and cultural influences, societal and cultural factors also contribute to these dynamics. Older women, particularly those from generations where divorce was stigmatized, may have felt compelled to remain in unfulfilling marriages. The pressure to uphold the image of a successful marriage can lead to internalized anger, which may be directed at the husband as the most tangible symbol of the relationship. Additionally, societal narratives about aging can exacerbate feelings of resentment. Women are often judged more harshly for aging than men, facing pressure to remain youthful or attractive. If a husband's behavior, such as commenting on her appearance or comparing her to younger women, reinforces these insecurities, it can deepen her sense of alienation and anger. The psychological toll of caregiving in old age. Many women take on the role of caregiver for their husbands, particularly if the husband experiences health issues. While caregiving can be an act of love, it can also be emotionally and physically exhausting, especially if the husband is demanding or ungrateful. The imbalance of giving without receiving adequate support can lead to burnout and resentment. This dynamic is particularly pronounced when women feel they have spent their lives in service to others. The expectation that they continue to prioritize their husband's needs, even at the expense of their own health or happiness, can feel like an injustice. Over time, this can erode any remaining goodwill, replacing it with feelings of anger or hatred. Pathways to healing and understanding. While these emotional challenges are significant, they are not insurmountable. Couples can address these issues through open communication, therapy, or intentional efforts to reconnect. For women, acknowledging and expressing their feelings, whether through journaling, support groups, or conversations with their husbands, can be a crucial step toward healing. Husbands, in turn, must be willing to listen, validate their wives' experiences, and make tangible efforts to address long-standing issues. Couples may also benefit from redefining their roles in old age, creating space for mutual growth and exploration. Engaging in shared activities, setting new goals, or seeking professional guidance can help rebuild emotional intimacy and mitigate resentment. Conclusion. The phenomenon of women developing feelings of resentment or hatred toward their husbands in old age is a complex interplay of unresolved grievances, loss of identity, emotional disconnection, and societal pressures. These emotions, while painful, are often a reflection of unmet needs and unaddressed wounds that have accumulated over time. By understanding the deep emotional reasons behind these feelings, couples can take steps to foster greater empathy, communication, and connection, ensuring that their later years are marked by mutual respect and understanding rather than resentment. Ultimately, the path to a fulfilling marriage in old age lies in recognizing and honoring the emotional journeys of both partners, creating a partnership that evolves with the challenges and opportunities of aging. Why women begin to hate their husbands in old age and the deep emotional reasons behind it as couples age together. The dynamics of their relationships often undergo profound transformations. While many marriages remain resilient, a subset of women in their later years report feelings of resentment, frustration, or even hatred toward their husbands. This phenomenon, though not universal, is significant enough to warrant exploration. The reasons behind these emotions are complex, rooted in a combination of psychological, emotional, social, and cultural factors that accumulate over decades. This article delves into the deep emotional reasons why some women may begin to harbor negative feelings toward their husbands in old age, offering insight into the underlying causes and their implications. The weight of unresolved grievances. One of the primary reasons women may develop feelings of resentment toward their husbands in old age is the accumulation of unresolved grievances. Over the course of a long marriage, small slights, unaddressed conflicts, or unmet expectations can pile up. These issues, often dismissed or suppressed in the busyness of earlier years, resurface in old age when couples have more time to reflect. For example, a woman may have spent decades prioritizing her husband's career, raising children, or managing the household, often at the expense of her own ambitions or emotional needs. If her contributions were consistently undervalued or her sacrifices went unacknowledged, she may begin to feel a sense of betrayal. In old age, with fewer distractions, these feelings can crystallize into resentment. The husband, unaware of the depth of her frustration, may continue behaviors that exacerbate the issue, such as taking her for granted or dismissing her concerns. This dynamic is compounded by the emotional toll of unexpressed feelings. Women, socialized to prioritize harmony in relationships, may have avoided confrontation in their younger years. By old age, however, the emotional cost of silence becomes unbearable, and suppressed anger can manifest as hostility or contempt. The loss of identity and purpose. Another significant factor is the loss of identity and purpose that many women experience in old age. For women who have spent much of their lives as caregivers, whether for children, aging parents, or their husbands, the transition into retirement or empty nest phases can be disorienting. When the roles that once defined them diminish, they may confront an existential crisis, questioning their worth and purpose. In this context, a husband who fails to engage emotionally or support his wife's self-discovery can become a target for her frustration. For instance, if a woman seeks to explore new hobbies, reconnect with her individuality, or pursue long-deferred dreams, but her husband remains disengaged or dismissive, she may perceive him as an obstacle to her growth. Over time, this can foster resentment, as she associates him with the constraints that have limited her sense of self. Moreover, societal expectations often place the burden of emotional labor on women, requiring them to maintain the emotional health of the marriage. If a husband is emotionally unavailable or unwilling to reciprocate this effort, the woman may feel trapped in a one-sided relationship, leading to feelings of bitterness. Shifting power. Power dynamics within a marriage also play a critical role. In earlier generations, traditional gender roles often placed men in positions of authority, with women expected to defer to their husbands' decisions. While these norms have evolved, many older couples still operate within frameworks established decades ago. In old age, however, women may become less willing to tolerate imbalances that once seemed acceptable. For example, a woman who has gained confidence or financial independence over time may begin to challenge her husband's dominance or decision-making. If he resists this shift, it can lead to conflict and resentment. Similarly, physical or cognitive decline in either partner can alter power dynamics. If a husband becomes more dependent on his wife due to health issues but fails to express gratitude or respect, she may feel burdened and unappreciated, fueling negative emotions. The impact of emotional disconnection. Emotional disconnection is a pervasive issue in long-term marriages and a key driver of resentment in old age. Over time, couples may drift apart, particularly if they have not nurtured their emotional intimacy. For women who often prioritize emotional closeness, a husband's emotional unavailability can feel like a profound betrayal. In old age, when companionship becomes a central aspect of life, the absence of meaningful connection can be particularly painful.